So as Professor Stein mentioned, I'm just going to give a brief overview of my project. We're currently focusing on evaluating what's the potential of growing apple nursery trees in plastic bags under net structures. So what we want to achieve, we firstly want to see if we can possibly propagate good quality nursery trees using this propagation method. And what's the characteristics that we're looking for of a good quality nursery tree? It needs to have good height, it needs to have sufficient nitrogen reserves to support regrowth in spring, it needs to have adequate root volume to anchor the tree when it's planted in the soil, and also to aid in the uptake of water and nutrients, and also needs to have good performance in the orchard to give optimal return for investment. But this quality of this tree needs to justify the extra input cost that goes hand in hand by producing trees in bags under net structures, such as the individual dripper lines, the coir medium itself, the plastic bags, the net structure, as well as the trellis system. So why are we looking at propagating trees this way? So what is the main advantages? Your pathogen weed control is confined to one bag. So in an open field conventional nursery, the pathogens of weeds can spread all over the field, where here it's confined to one bag, and you can remove that from your beds of trees. Especially in the Western Cape, there's a lot of variation in soil types within one nursery. So by producing trees with the coir medium, you get a more homogeneous batch of trees. Also, your turnover time is also quicker. Instead of waiting 2 years for your trees, this propagation method takes 1 year. And you also have potential less transport shock. Usually in an open field conventional nursery, trees are removed from the soil. A lot of the roots stay behind, but if you plant it with the roots intact, you can potentially have less transport shock. And also your phytosanitary quality is improved because every year in nurseries, trees are planted on the same soil. By year, every year you use virgin soil with the coir medium. So during my project, we basically focused on imported horticultural practices during the growing season in the nursery, and to establish what's the best treatments as well as timing of these treatments during these practices. So within the nursery, we focus on cessation of vegetative growth and hardening off, translocation of reserves as well as defoliation. And we also focus on what's the best way to store these trees and handle these trees, and what's the best way to plant these trees. And basically we want to see what's the effect of these treatments on the performance of the trees when they were planted out in a commercial orchard during the first growing season. So we used Golden Delicious on an M9 rootstock that was cultivated or propagated at Witzenberg Range Nursery in Simondia, and these trees were planted out in a commercial orchard in Grabouw. So for today I'm just going to focus on our one trial where we evaluate what's the effect of a cold storage period as well as the application of a rest breaking treatment. So if you look at your percentage bud break in your whole tree, one can clearly see what the effect will be if you have insufficient chilling during winter as well as no application of a rest breaking treatment. So you have approximately 55% bud break, where you could have 94% bud break if you store the trees as well as applying a rest breaking treatment. As I've mentioned, we also focus on the total new vegetative growth via lateral shoots, and here one can see there's no significant difference between the new growth between the treatments. But what is interesting in this specific trial was to see the balance between the growth in the top part and the lower 2/3 of the tree, where if there was a cold storage period, you'll have much more balanced growth between the top and the lower 2/3 of the tree, where the untreated control produced much more growth in the lower parts, which will give a basal dominant framework that will impede your leader growth, and you won't allocate your space in the orchard as quickly as possible. But it was only in this trial that we see this kind of effect, and the rest of the orchard was still a basal dominant effect that which one would expect in Grabouw. So just to conclude, we're currently evaluating what's the potential of propagating trees in plastic bags under net structure, as well as to identify what's the correct timing and treatments during imported horticultural practices, and what's the effect of the handling procedure as well as the planting methods on the performance once these trees are planted out. Thank you very much.